What's going on, YouTube tribe? Welcome. Your tribal chief welcomes you to another edition of. You know what this means? That means your champion, your tribal chief, got a review for you for Monday Night Raw. But yeah. First things first. If I could get everybody who is not subscribed to hit that like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification button. Also leave a comment for both sides. Leave a comment down below on what you think of this Monday Night Raw. Did you like it? Did you didn't? Did you like it? Did you did not like it? You know, let me know, because it was an eventful and not eventful one at the same time. But those who are subscribed and the new subscribers, love you, appreciate you, thank you for giving me the opportunity to entertain you. You know, with my unusual brand of comedy. You know, my antics as thinking that I'm the real WWE champ, because I call myself the tribal chief. I am your tribal chief, and I demand you show me respect and acknowledge me as the tribal chief, as the man on YouTube, the only channel on YouTube that you gotta go to for your entertainment. I demand. I am your tribal chief. Acknowledge me. Acknowledge me. That's my best impression of Roman Reigns. But yeah, appreciate you. Just need y'all to continue to do what you're doing. Just watching, liking, and share. And yeah, those who are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Become part of the tribe, because I'm the highest, newest thing on YouTube. And yeah, we're getting close to the goal of the 200 subscribers. So you know, hey, let's keep that going. But without further ado. No promo to start off the episode. They just get straight into it. First match of the night was Bobby Lassie versus Sheamus. It was a great back and forth match, but the real story here was that the Hurt Business, as in Shelton Benjamin and Cedric, that came out, and it was like a look of confusion on the faces of Bobby Lassie and MVP. They did not expect them to be out there at ringside, let alone try to interfere and help Bobby Lassie, right? So, you know, even doing sometimes Bobby Lashley's like, "What are you doing? What are y'all thinking? What are y'all doing?" And you know, they keep saying they trying to help him, but in the end, Bobby Lashley ended up getting a win. Even it was a great match too, because they actually showed that Bobby Lashley might have lost. That even at the end, the way how it ended was the fact that it looked like Sheamus had Bobby Lashley beat. Until Cedric, he slid into the ring and slid back out, and he walked into I guess they call it the Almighty Slam. You know, I guess that's that little power bomb choke slam, whatever he does. They call that the Almighty Slam now. And you know, there was a couple of botches in the match too. I want to put that out there that Bobby Lashley did botch some things. The two I caught was that. You know how when people when people position themselves to use the person who's getting overzealous and charging at them to flip them over their backs onto the other side of the rope, onto the apron or to the outside. Bobby Lashley, I think, botched that because it's usually supposed to be like a smooth transition. They sit there like they messed up, and then the person run at them, but then they like, oh no, I'm gonna reverse it and flip you over. Bobby Lashley went to do that, and it's like he didn't flip Sheamus over smoothly. Like you could tell that he either somebody mistimed it or missed their cue, and you could tell Sheamus pretty much got over the ropes on his own. He didn't get thrown over because of Bobby Lashley. It just looked like he just jumped on Bobby Lashley's shoulders and just got out of the ring. It didn't look smooth at all. And then he did try to do a scoop slam like how Randy Orton be doing, but it kind of looked like he messed that up too, because it looked like he almost dropped Sheamus. So it's like Bobby Lashley got to clean it up, because he be kind of botching some moves. But yeah, he ended up putting Sheamus in the hurt lock after that little interference with Cedric, and winning the match. But then he still again goes back to them like, what you guys doing? And then Drew McIntyre would come out, because when Sheamus rolled out the ring, Shelton and Cedric would try to beat him up, but Drew would come out and help Sheamus by fighting him off, and then he got into it with Bobby Lashley, and he dared Bobby Lashley to hit him, Bobby Lashley wanted to, but MVP got in the way, and they ended up getting separated. And I think right before the Oscar versus Peyton Royce match, there was a promo. There was I think it went to commercial, and then it was a promo. And then when they came back, it was a promo with them, where Bobby Lashley, asking like, "What are you doing? Who told you to come out there? Did you know what you guys did?" And they was like, "We just came out there to help. What's up?" He said, "I ain't need your help with Sheamus." And but they wasn't understanding when Bobby, because he was angry, he couldn't articulate it good enough. So he let MVP do it, and MVP broke it down to him just basically like this: we not saying we don't know what you was doing. We know that you came out there to help, but do you understand what you did by doing that? By doing that, you tarnished his image as the WWE champion. Now you made it look like he couldn't beat Sheamus on his own. That he needed you guys' help, and he didn't need you guys' help. He had it himself, but y'all painted that image of him. And then Bobby Lashley got back in the conversation. All I want to know is how you going to make this right. And they decided that the way how they going to make it right is that they are going to challenge Drew McIntyre for the title, not for I was to say for the title, in a 2-on-1 handicap match, and But when Drew was told about this, he only accepted the match on one condition, was that if he accepts the match, it would be on the fact that it would have to be a stipulation that if he wins, it was no stipulation if he loses. It was just that if he wins, then I think Shelton, Cedric, and MVP is banned from ringside. But then we would get the Oscar versus Peyton Royce. That was a good match. And I also love how they kind of re-imaged Peyton, because she actually had a good match with Asuka that made me actually like the match. She at times she could have won, like she could have legit beat Asuka, but she ended up falling prey to the Asuka lock and would tap out. But the main caveat is that match led into a quick promo, because guess what? Rhea Ripley just debuted, right? And it was kind of weird, because I thought she had her ring gear on, so I thought she was going to fight. But I guess she I know people is kind of I've been watching wrestling since 1995. I know people have debuted where they haven't not all debuts are just debuts into a match. Sometimes they actually do debut with a promo. I think Chris Jericho did that once. I think he debuted with a promo. I think his debut was with a promo. I want to say that. I can't remember when. I can't remember. I've been watching wrestling so long I forgot. I had to go look it up just to be sure. But I think his debut was a promo. But Rhea Ripley was debut. She would come out and basically talk about how Charlotte challenged her to a match at WrestleMania, but she wasn't there because she was injured thanks to Sonya Blazer. But now that she's here, but Charlotte's not here because she reveals that Charlotte's recovering from COVID, and we would get the tweets like later on, I think after the show or early this morning, from Charlotte confirming that that's the reason why we haven't been seeing her recently, is because she caught COVID and she's been recovering from COVID. But she basically challenged Asuka to a match at WrestleMania. Asuka, did her little thing, said, Rhea is not ready for Asuka, but she accepts the challenge, and it's going to be Rhea and Asuka at WrestleMania for the Raw Women's Championship. We will get a promo for the Miz. We get a Miz TV promo, basically talk about how him and John had more accolades and championship and ring experience than anybody, and yet they was on the promotional art for WrestleMania. Bad Bunny was, who she said, with all the disrespect and everything that's happened, he said that was the last straw, seeing that Bad Bunny was on the poster and him and John Morrison wasn't. So that's what led to what he did last week, which is bust a guitar over the back of Bad Bunny. But then he said the other caveat of it is that he wanted to challenge Bad Bunny to a match at WrestleMania. And he told him to watch. He told Bad Bunny, watch my match with Jeff Hardy, and you'll get a preview of what I'm going to do to you at WrestleMania. This was, I think, Rhea Ripley was the first setup match they had on Raw. Yeah, I think that was like the first. Her promo was like the first thing. Was the very first thing they did to set up WrestleMania for her. For Asuka was, you know, her and Asuka. And this would be the second one with Miz challenging Bad Bunny. Miz would have a match with Jeff Hardy, which pretty much went like you thought it would. Jeff Hardy had his usual movesets and timing to the point where he almost like he was about to beat the Miz, but the Miz would fight back. You know, had a lot of fortitude, and he ended up beating Jeff Hardy. But the thing is, just like with the Asuka match, what happened after the match is the true caveat, because Bad Bunny would come out and doing the Miz celebration and hit the Miz over the back with a guitar, and then go up the ramp, get a mic, and tell Miz while Miz is on the ground holding his back, and like he holding onto the ropes, to the bottom ropes, looking at him while holding his back, and he said, "I accept your challenge." So the rumor did say that it was supposed to be Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus the Miz and John Morrison. I don't know, is that could still change. That could, from what they just announced, that could change in the coming weeks. But it looks like it's just going to be a one-on-one match, because they confirmed that it will be Bad Bunny versus the Miz at WrestleMania. The New Day would come out. They would come out and interrupt the promo that was from AJ Styles, who was basically taunting the New Day, talking about how him and Omos are such a great tag team that Omos been learning from AJ, and that they were going to take the titles from the New Day at WrestleMania. And the New Day said, "Well, how can you do that? With this big guy Omos and stuff." They try to turn Omos against AJ Styles, even to the point of saying that, how can y'all beat us if y'all not a true tag team? Because a true tag team would know stuff about each other. And then, they were saying how they kept asking AJ Styles all these different questions about Omos, and AJ Styles got it wrong. But at the end, AJ said, enough is enough. Get your butt in the ring, Kofi, so I can kick your butt and give you a little preview of what we're gonna do to you at WrestleMania. You want to know why? Because AJ rocks, and AJ started shaking his hips and stuff, and they was like, no, go to commercial, don't show that, go to commercial, and it was a little funny thing I liked at the end. But that led into Kofi versus AJ Styles, with them two having a decent match. Omos would get involved a couple times, damn, I just forgot his name now. Xavier Woods would get involved. And he would, cause some distractions, just like Omos was. But it was Xavier's distraction to Omos that distracted AJ Styles, that caused AJ to get hit with the Trouble in Paradise, or the SOS. I think it was the SOS, and for the win. And Kofi would pin AJ, which I'd like to add that was a former world champion that got pinned by Kofi Kingston. Yeah, they keep him relegated to this whole tag team division thing. You would get a backstage promo with Sheamus, who basically was interviewed, asked what he thought about what happened earlier with Drew McIntyre coming out and saving him. He said, "That's nothing but respect, but let me make one thing clear. I can't stand the ground that the man walks on. I hate that man. I hate him so much. He doesn't like him." But then Matt Riddle would interrupt the interview to pitch some ideas and ask some questions to Sheamus. And then Sheamus is getting irritated. He's like, "Yo, that's your scooter?" He's like, "Yeah, bro. That's my scooter." He's like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, this looks nice. Oh, you just got done greasing the wheels." Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, man, I just got done." He hit Matt Riddle in the stomach with the handlebars of the scooter and drop it and walk away. And I guess that's supposed to be the third setup. I think because you got one with Rhea, then the Miz as setting up a match at WrestleMania. I guess that's supposed to be another match set up for WrestleMania. Because they never really confirmed it, but that's what they had in that storyline. Matt Riddle, he like in the ground talking something. It's something I said, bro. Then the next match would be the Drew McIntyre versus the Hurt Business in the 2-on-1 handicap match. Drew dominated like he was going to. But Shelton Benjamin, they got their offense at a couple of points, not a lot, but at a couple of points, it looked like they was going to win. But Drew pulled it out at the end, hit the Claymore kick on either Cedric or Shelton to get the win, and now they are banned from ringside. They are banned from ringside at the WrestleMania match. We will get Mandy Rose versus Dana Brooke. I keep saying Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke versus Nia Jax and Sonya Blazer. It was a good back and forth match. Reginald did his usual thing. I am starting to get a little bit tired of Reginald because I just want to know what the hell they're going with this whole Reginald thing. First, he's getting more screen time than Carmella, and I can't really believe that. How is he getting more screen time than Carmella? And he was supposed to be a plot device for Carmella, and he gets more screen time than Carmella. Weird. Yeah, but it was a good match between Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke and Sonya Blazer. But I think the caveat for that match was that Lana and Naomi was at ringside demanding that they get a rematch because they were screwed thanks to Reginald. Reginald would come in and get involved again, causing the distraction. I think Mandy Rose ended up getting pinned by Nia Jax for the win. Let's see. The next promo will be, which is kind of confusing because we went from Bobby Lashley telling them that he didn't need their help with Drew McIntyre or Sheamus, that he didn't need them out there to help him. Now he's scolding them for losing the match and losing the Raw Tag Team titles. And he said, since y'all can't get the job done and make it right, I'm going to find somebody who will. So they went into the men's locker room, and Bobby basically put a hit out on Drew, telling everybody in the locker room that if they want a shot at the WWE Championship at WrestleMania, all they got to do is take Drew McIntyre out before WrestleMania. Which, like I said, it confused me because I'm like, so did you forget that you're not supposed to want help? Or maybe you just didn't want help from Shelton Benjamin? Like, where was they going with this? Why did he just do a complete 180, right? So, Sheamus, then this will lead to Sheamus, Man, and Elias doing a performance where I guess he's still trying to prove that Elias want to be able to perform on the grand stage in the mall, and he's trying to prove to Sheamus Man that I can still do anything you want to give me that opportunity, and that opportunity came in the form that he got to fight Braun Strowman again, right? This time, they sing a little duet called Braun is Stupid, and Braun Strowman would interrupt that and basically try to get to Sheamus saying, injured or whatnot, or injured. And then he would have a match. This would lead to Braun Strowman versus Elias, which pretty much ended the same way it ended last night, where Braun Strowman beating the hell out of Elias and winning. But this time, as he still did it before he could go like this, the right hand up in victory, Shane would hit Braun over the back with his crutch that didn't do anything to him. And Braun was like, man, you must be some kind of stupid son of a, I don't even know he even finished his sentence, but he went after Shane. Shane would get out the ring and run up the ramp, which would like, okay, Braun like, okay, I see your knee is better than what you say it is now. He's like, yeah, it's kind of like a day by day thing. But yeah, Shane's like, he basically challenged Shane to that match. I was right. The match that he was having with Shane, that Braun Strowman was having with Shane, was being postponed to WrestleMania because I figured it was going to allow Shane to wrestle on a regular episode of Monday Night Raw or Fastlane. So they saved it for WrestleMania, like I thought they was. But yeah, Shane McMahon itself and now it's going to be a match at WrestleMania with Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon. I guess in the last piece of thing that happened tonight was that they ended the show with the Randy Orton calling off the Fiend, which just consists of Alexa Bliss, with Alexa Bliss coming out and basically having a little that little wind up toy that popped up with the Fiend, like a version of the Fiend in his mask, and then the lights go off, and then all of a sudden, the Fiend's little semi theme is playing, and he's just standing there as zombified Fiend. But it looks Randy Orton, he came out prepared. He was getting ready to set the zombie Fiend on fire. And then he even doused him with he hit him with the gasoline and everything, and he was getting ready to light him on fire. But I think Alexa Bliss would try to distract him, but he would hit the RKO on Zombie Fiend when Zombie Fiend tried to take advantage of the distraction, only to for Alexa to distract him again, which allows Zombie Fiend to get up to hit to get the Emmanuel McClaw on him and hit him with the Sister Abigail, and he pointed to the WrestleMania sign, which then was quickly confirmed that it will be Randy Orton versus The Fiend at WrestleMania. Yeah, that was it. That they ended it with The Fiend taunting Randy Orton's like unconscious body just laying there, and it would be them two at WrestleMania. But yeah, that was it. It was a decent episode. Most of the time was used to set up for WrestleMania, so it wasn't a great episode, but it was still decent. It earned 7 big ups just because it did what it needed to do to set up WrestleMania. It was still kind of entertaining too at the same time. I just really didn't care for. I didn't care for the whole Elias and Shane McMahon promo or the whole little way they ended the show with the Randy Orton summoning the Fiend. But I did care about the Braun Strowman match with Elias because I knew he was going to challenge Shane McMahon for the match at WrestleMania. I just didn't care how they started it, but it ended great. Other than that, I don't think it's anything else. Yeah, the Mandy Rose and Dana Brooks match with Nia and Sonya, it kind of was like predictable, and it was like, I didn't care for it, but it wasn't bad either. It just was one of the things that got a point deduction. But yeah, that's it. 7 big ups. Decent episode. That's it. Tribal Chief has spoken. The last thing you about to hear from your Tribal Chief is acknowledge me, and hit this button right here. It will take you to all of my WWE reviews. So acknowledge me as your sole WWE news person by clicking this button right here and going to all of my WWE review videos. And then acknowledge me as the sole YouTuber by hitting this button right here and subscribing to the channel and becoming part of the island of relevancy. Become to my island, because I am the head of your table when you subscribe to my channel or hit any one of these videos for more of my amazing content. But you better acknowledge me and hit that subscribe button. Acknowledge me. Tribal Chief has spoken. To the next one. Acknowledge me. Peace out.